Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Belmont, back with another episode of Power Vacuum. And today, I'm here to talk about some really good news from the world of gaming. Nintendo has once again proven that they are the probably most ethical company out there when it comes to how they treat their employees. In a recent Q&A from the company, which I have available, but it's all in Japanese, and Google Translate can't handle it right now, so I gotta wait for the actual English translation to come out. But the short story is, they've announced that they will not be using generative AI to create video games, and this is a lot more than can be said about many other companies out there right now. Got this article here. There we go, right here, from cnet.com. Mario and Luigi aren't jumping on the AI train. In a recent Q&A with investors, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa addressed the issue. Though he said generative AI can be creative, Furukawa reportedly told his audience that the company isn't planning to use the technology in its games. He was quoted saying, "In the game industry, AI-like technology has long been used to control enemy character movements. So game development and AI technology have always been closely related. Generative AI, which has been a hot topic in recent years, can be more creative, but we also recognize that it has an issue with intellectual property rights. We have decades of know-how in creating optimal gaming experiences for our customers, and while we remain flexible and responding to technological developments, we hope to continue to deliver value that is unique to us and cannot be achieved through technology alone." A representative of Nintendo didn't immediately respond to a request from comment. AI will inevitably affect the video game industry, but as CNET's David Lamb wrote, after attending a game developers conference in March, the technology hasn't been added to every game. No, but it has been added to quite a few games, and there's a growing number of companies using it, and it's basically allows them to cut down their workforce by a tremendous amount because the AI is doing the workload of a dozen people, and this one kind of cuts jobs away from developers, makes it so companies can make a lot more profit. Because it's, I seriously doubt we're going to see a drop in game prices from the people using this software. It's more likely they're just going to keep their game prices the same or not raise them to the next level, which is most likely $100. But they're going to, just rake in the profits while having their workforce if they can. I don't really care about the rest of the article. It was mostly, I just wanted to read that little excerpt from Furukawa about Nintendo not doing that. They're not moving forward with generative AI. They're going to continue making games in the way that they've been making them, employing people the way they've been employing them. And it kind of reminded me of this little throwback to 10 years ago now, when Satoru Iwata, I always screw up his first name, Iwata took a 50% pay cut for 5 months to atone for losses at Nintendo, while other senior executives, including Mario creator Miyamoto, will forego 20 to 30% of their salaries. Now I remember the story about Iwata taking half his payoff to recoup the losses from the Wii U. I didn't know that Miyamoto and other executives also took 20 to 30% off their salaries as well. This is like an amazing thing that American companies and American CEOs could really learn from. These guys make tens of millions of dollars a year, and they lay off people all the time. We're looking at major layoffs in gaming companies left and right now. And the CEOs are still making tons and tons of money. They don't give a shit about the workers that they're losing or the people getting axed. They don't care. But in Japan, in order to prevent the layoffs from the company losing money, the CEO stepped up and said, "Hey, you know what? a small fortune is still a fucking fortune. So we're going to go ahead and do what's, appropriate and right. We're going to cut our salaries down because we're still making buku bucks even when we cut our salary in half, even when we cut 20 or 30% off our salary. So these people can keep their jobs, so they can keep their livelihoods, so this company can stay great. Because, this is an old Hollywood Reporter story. It says sales from 9 months for the 9 months to December 2013 fell 8.1%, which was $4.86 billion. Roughly, this is funny. They got a question mark for 499 billion. That's supposed to be a yen. I don't think they realized, or I don't think whoever wrote this article at the time knew that the yen symbol wouldn't translate if they didn't change the font with whatever font they were uploading into the system. So it just replaced it with a question mark. But it's supposed to be 499 billion yen, which was compared to the company's same period in 2012, where Nintendo logged a 15.3 million loss, which was 1.58 billion yen. And, two losses in a row. And earlier in 2013, Nintendo predicted a 355 million or 35 billion yen loss for the full year to March. So basically, Nintendo's Wii U flopped so hard that they lost. What is this? Almost $400 million or 40 billion yen from their errors and not properly marketing the Wii U. Because what happened really was they didn't explicitly explain to people that the Wii U was like its own system. So a lot of people thought it was a peripheral for the Wii. Because I have friends who work in the gaming industry and game stores, and I knew people at GameStop, and they were like, the most common question we get is, can we buy the Wii U pad to upgrade our Wii? And they're like, no, it's not an upgrade, it's not a peripheral, it's not an add-on, it's a whole new game system. And then people were like, oh, well, I wasn't prepared to drop $400. I was prepared to drop a couple hundred on this new thing. They just didn't understand. And that was really a bad marketing ploy on Nintendo's part, because the commercials didn't explicitly explain well enough for people in the American market that this was a whole new game system. This wasn't just an upgrade for the Wii. It was an entirely new thing. And I think part of that was keeping a similar name, the Wii U. It just kind of made it sound like with everything had Wii in front of it that was for the Wii. So when the Wii U came out, people just thought the U was the new pad for the Wii. And it just caused Nintendo to hemorrhage money for years. And their CEOs and their executive management stepped up to the plate and said, we don't want to lose the team we have because we've got an amazing team. So, we're going to do the ethical thing, the proper thing, and we're going to turn our big fortunes into small fortunes, and the company's going to go on and continue to keep doing what they're doing. And they absolutely recovered. Although, this to me is funny, because to think that Nintendo doesn't have money is ridiculous. When's the last time you went a week without seeing a kid in a Mario t-shirt or a Zelda t-shirt, or didn't see some Pokemon shit somewhere? Nintendo properties are everywhere you look. They get money from all kinds of other outside video game sources. They've licensed so many things that it's ridiculous to think that they don't have money. But, they're looking at their capital gains. I mean, the money they make right now is what the board looks at. It's what the stock market looks at. It's what their investors look at. Because the company has money. It'll never not have money. They're probably still sitting on, money from Super Nintendo. There's just no way Nintendo doesn't have a cash flow. I mean, heck, even the GameCube. Almost said GameStop. Even the GameCube was a successful thing. It was really the first portable console from Nintendo, if you think about it, first portable home console, because it had a handle. and they're saying, I think the executive at the time was quoted as saying, "We put a handle on the GameCube because we wanted people to take it to their friend's house and play with them." So it's like Nintendo's probably been sitting on a ton of money, but when it comes to like investors and all that, they were hurting. And now they've made this move with generative AI where they're probably not going to get the profits that other companies are going to make, but the ethical stance and the fact that they're going to have people still making the games is probably going to give them more of that Nintendo feel. It's probably going to feel better and more natural than other games, because we haven't really seen what generative AI is going to be doing in the game industry yet, because most of the people using it are still making the games. So when they start hitting the market, a lot of games coming out soon that use this technology are probably going to all feel similar. Kind of how like every Assassin's Creed game feels the same because they don't really advance the technology that way. I get the feeling that that's what generative AI is going to do to stuff. It's going to make all these games have similar feel because the computer is going to make things a certain way, and it's going to go what's most efficient and what's most popular, and it's just going to just pump it out. You're going to get all these Souls-like games coming out more so than they already do come out. Maybe. I don't know. We still got to see. It's like I said, we haven't really felt the full impact of generative AI yet in the gaming industry, but it's coming. And the fact that Nintendo stepped up to do this is a big win for game developers in my eyes, and it's a big win for Nintendo. And I wanted to point that out, wanted to put that out there because this is I thought pretty big news, and I found it very impressive of them. And it's just something you're not going to see from a lot of companies, especially Western companies, where they're going to try to cut corners and save as much money as possible, where Nintendo just wants to make a good product that people are familiar with. And that's all I have for today. Belmont out.